This is guided math practice with Mrs. McElveen, and we've got a brand new problem for this week. This time we're going to be working with fractions, but the way we solve it is going to remain the same. The first thing I'm going to do is read through the problem. I see a chart. It's titled Distance Frank Walked. One column is headed day, the other distance in miles. Monday, 3/4 miles. Tuesday, 1 1/2 miles. Wednesday, 2/3 miles. And the question says, according to the table, what is the total distance Frank walked for the 3 days? I'm just going to go back and read it again. I see the table, distance Frank walked. There's a day, and then how far he walked each day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's in miles. According to the table, what is the total distance Frank walked for 3 days? I'm going to think through my problem with a small x today, so I have a little bit more room for some calculating over here with fractions. So I have Monday, 3/4 miles, Tuesday, 1 1/2 miles, Wednesday, 2/3 miles. We're used to this structure, but just remember to pause the video whenever you need to catch up as you copy down this example of I do. Important words: total distance Frank walked for the 3 days. So what is total distance for 3 days? And I'm going to write myself a little note over here, maybe. Total usually means that I'm going to need to add something or multiply something to get a new answer. So I'm going to need to get a bigger answer. I'm going to have to put all of these numbers together. So I'm just going to say I'm going to add numbers. Okay, so I already have a chart, but I want to make sure I really understand what's going on. So here's Frank, and he is walking, getting some good exercise. On Monday, he walked 3/4 miles. On Tuesday, he walked 1 1/2 miles. On Wednesday, he walked 2/3 miles. Even though it's been organized for me one way, it helps me to picture what's going on when I can organize it in my own way. Because we want the total, I have an idea that I want to add these together. So 3/4 plus 1 1/2 plus 2/3 should give us the total distance he walked for those 3 days. I also want to make sure my answer is reasonable, so I want to estimate first. 3/4, if I was thinking about a number line, 0, 1/2, and then 1 whole, I know 3/4 is bigger than 1/2. It's about here. So I'm going to estimate and call that 1. It's closer to 1. Now 1 1/2, I have to stretch all the way over here to put another 1 1/2, because this is already 1 whole right here. So for my estimation, I'm just going to keep that 1 1/2. And then 2/3, I know if I break this whole into thirds, that would be 1/3, that would be 2/3, and then 3/3 up here. So 2/3 is in between 1/2 and 1 whole, or 3/4, excuse me. So I'm just going to call it 1/2. So I have 1 plus 1 is 2. I have 1/2 plus 1/2. That's going to be another 1 whole. So my answer should be somewhere around 3 miles. That's just to make sure I know that my answer is reasonable. Now let me go back to my problem. All of my denominators are different. I cannot just go ahead and add this the way I did my estimate. I need to find equivalent fractions. I find equivalent fractions by finding the least common multiple. Usually, I do a t-chart like this because I've been working with just 2 fractions. But I have 3, so I'm only going to just make another row. One denominator is 4, one denominator is 2, one denominator is 3. I'll start with 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Hopefully I won't have to go past 5 multiples. 2, 4. Ooh, I already see a common denominator. Let's see if it works with 3. 3, 6, 9. Nothing's matching so far. I'm going to have to go back up here. 12. Ooh, let's see. I'm going to go back to 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so now I have a really wacky peanut. There's my least common multiple, 12. I need to change each denominator because none of these are 12. So 3/4, I'm going to do them one at a time. 3/4 is the same thing as something over 12. 4 times 3 is 12. I need to balance my fraction. Since I multiply the denominator times 3, I multiply the numerator times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. I have my new fraction for 3/4. 1 1/2, I'm really paying attention just to the fraction right now, is going to change to something over 12. 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 times 6. I need to balance my fraction. Whatever I do in the denominator, I need to do to the numerator. 1 times 6 is 6. So I have, don't forget that whole number, 1 6/12 instead of 1 1/2. Finally, I need to find my equivalent fraction for 2/3. It's going to be something over 12. Let's check. 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, 3 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. I balance it. 2 times 4 is 8. Now I rewrite my problem so I can solve it. So instead of 3/4, I have 9/12. Instead of 1 1/2, I have 1 6/12. Instead of 2/3, I have 8/12. That equals, I only have this one whole number, so I'll put a 1. 9 plus 6 is 15, plus 8 is 23. Let's double check this another way. 6 plus 8 is 14, plus 9 is 23. I think I've got it correct. But I notice now I have an improper fraction, or a fraction greater than 1. I have 23/12. So I'm going to draw a picture of 12ths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to color it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're probably doing a lot of pausing for this problem. I hope you are, so you're getting all of this work. That's one whole, but I haven't gotten to 23 yet. So I'm going to draw another row of 12ths. So I was at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I have one whole and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11/12. So here's where I started, but I changed 23/12 into 1 11/12. So now I have 1 and another 1. I have 2 holes. I have this hole plus this hole here, and then 11/12 miles. Frank walked 2 11/12 miles. If we go all the way back up to our estimate, we said it was going to be about 3. 2 11/12 is very close to 3. I only need one more 12th to get to another whole, and then I would have 3 total. When you work with your partner, make sure you carefully go through the steps of a T-chart, making new fractions with the denominator that you find, rewrite your problem with your new fractions, and then solve it. It's a lot of steps, but if you take your time and work carefully, you'll get to the correct answer.